Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the perfect palette tag. I was encouraged to do this video by a new friend here on YouTube. Her name is Richelle, so I'm really excited to do this video for you guys and to share with you my picks. So I have my list here, my cute little heart-shaped notebook. A friend of mine, his mom actually got me this for Valentine's Day, and she's just the sweetest woman on the planet. But yeah, so this is my list, and let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is best packaging. Best packaging for me has got to go to anything Too Faced. Too Faced always has the cutest packaging. This is the Stardust by Vegas Nape palette. Vegas themed. Oops, I still have the plastic covers on them. But just super cute, super slim packaging, great for travel. The peanut butter and jelly palette, can I say more? Do I need to say more? Super cute packaging, smells awesome. But yeah, I think anything Too Faced has just got to be my favorites. I have the original Chocolate Bar palette as well as the Bon Bon palette. And I actually just placed an order for the semi-sweet so I can complete my collection. I use my Platinum Perk 20% off at Ulta, as well as I racked up a bunch of points. So I did place a humongous order, and we'll be sharing that with you guys in an upcoming haul as well. But yeah, Too Faced has got to go best packaging for me. The next question is best color payoff. And for me, it's got to be my Lorac Mega Pro 2 palette. This not only has an insane amount of shadows in it, it has 36 shadows. The payoff is just crazy. Let me just do a couple of these for you. So this is Blue Quartz, and just swipe that. Forest, there's that as well. Let's do just their Black Ivy. I don't know, just something about these shadows. You really need to dip your brush into them barely, and crazy amounts of pigmentation comes off. You have to definitely tap off the excess, and they are a little bit powdery, but you really just can't beat the pigmentation of these shadows. So that definitely goes to Lorac for me. The next section is most versatile, which also actually goes to my Lorac Mega Pro 2, because again, 36 shadows, it's crazy slim as well, which is awesome. But it goes from super pale shades to super, super dark shades. You've got green, blue, gold, pink, a tangerine shade, Cabernet, Goji. You just really can't go wrong with this palette, and it's definitely versatile. Okay, the next one for me is best for traveling. I have two. I'm going to do my honorable mention first. And my honorable mention definitely goes to my Tarte Rainforest After Dark palette. Forgot the name there. This palette, first of all, it's super slim, and it comes with not only 6 shadows, but it also comes with a highlight, a bronzer, and one of their 12-hour blushes. This is, I think, one of my first travel palettes, and I do not regret this purchase whatsoever. I've used it many a time traveling, and I definitely will continue to do so. However, there is one that is just slightly better for me, and that has got to be my Urban Decay Naked on the Run palette. This one is a little bit bulkier, but it does include not only a bronzer, a blush, and a highlight. It also includes the shadows, a lip gloss, one of their 24-hour glide-on pencils, and a sample size of their Perversion mascara. Not only that, but I can actually use this eyeshadow shade for my brows, so that gets brows covered, one less product you have to pack, and you can't beat the pigmentation, and it really just is an awesome, awesome palette. I think I got mine on sale. It was like $34, I want to say. So that is even better. Price is great. You can really do everything with this kit. So next is going to be a little controversial. Biggest regret for me has got to be, again, I have two. Actually, I have 3. I'm going to start out with the least regrettable purchase. That is my Urban Decay. I believe this is the Ammo palette. It comes with a little brush, which no one ever uses, and these shades. However, there's not a matte shade in the bunch, which I suppose I should have read the description slightly better. But it was one of those things that it was, I think, half off. It was $18 on sale, and I wanted to just pick it up. So I did, but I I wish I didn't. I don't use these colors. It's not an easy palette to get a complete look from. So this is definitely one of my regrets. Another regret for me is probably the Anastasia self-made palette. This, again, is one of those palettes. It doesn't come with everything you need to make a look. This one does not have a transition shade. The closest one would be Sherbet, which is this sort of terracotta or peachy shade, but it's still got some satiny shimmer to it. So it is a little bit difficult to make a look. I actually did use this yesterday, and I did enjoy the look that I created. I did this in the crease, and then I used Hot and Cold on the lid, and Hot Chocolate on the outer V, and then Buttery as a highlight. But I just really don't think that this palette was worth the cost. I mean, the shadows are great and everything. The quality is great, but it just wasn't enough to create a cohesive look for me. So this is definitely one of my regrets. However, I did just pick up 4 of the single pan shadows from Anastasia, and I'm actually really excited to test those out as well. Another regret for me, unfortunately, has got to be the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani eyeshadow palette. Wow, this product was just so overhyped. This is probably one of the controversial aspects of this category. This product was just so overhyped. I actually got mine from Urban Decay the day it launched. I got the email in the morning, and I was ready for it. I even used a 10% discount code, which I guess makes it slightly less of a regret. It wasn't as expensive, but this is almost a $60 palette. And I just don't think that, turn it upside down, there's just not a lot you can do with it. The lighter shades, I mean, they barely show up on my eyes, and I am really, really fair. I do love the shade Punk. I believe the name is Punk. It's great for lining. It's great for an outer V. But again, it's just not a palette that I really think was overhyped on YouTube, and I don't think it was worth the $60. Again, I'm glad I didn't pay the $60. That was low-key for it. But I really got to get a little bit more use out of this, and I really do try to, but when I do, I go for the same look. It's just hard for me to want to experiment with it. Oh, he got one of his toys. Always gonna squeak it. Sorry if the squeaking bothers you guys. But yeah, this was definitely one of my regrets, unfortunately. So the next category is Best Color Names, and I've got to give it to my Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. The names, Spread the Love is a, let's see. Yeah, there's no mirror. Spread the Love, Peanut Butter Cup, Bananas, Peanut Brittle, Jammin', Extra Creamy Jelly, and Nuts About You. They just perfectly all fit the theme. They're just adorable. I can't really say much more. It's just an adorable palette, and the names definitely go with that theme. So next, we have Least Used. Okay, so here again, I am going to go back and give this a little bit more grief. The Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. Again, I don't use this one enough. And like I said, when I do, I go for the same look every time, unfortunately. But I definitely have been trying to use it more because it was an expensive palette and I want to love it. But even some of these shades are basically the same. I actually contacted Urban Decay, their customer service, to verify that I didn't get a mess up, because Steady to me and Pop are the exact same shade. When swatched, when you look at them in the pan, I even sent them pictures and they said, no, those are definitely different, but to me they even look the same. But yeah, this is definitely one of my least used. Another one of my least used, I actually don't have anymore because I gave it to a better home. It's the Balm Nude Dude palette. It's the second palette in that nude set or category. I ordered it from Ipsy. It was discounted, which is good, but I just had so many other palettes in my collection that I wanted to reach for more that I found myself having a hard time gravitating towards it. However, a friend of mine who laughs at my obsession with makeup definitely reaps the benefits when I find something in my collection that I no longer have a use for. She gets it, either her or my mom. So she got it. It was her first full-size palette. I did get her one of the Lorac smaller ones for Christmas, which she loved. But it was her first full-size palette, and she was proud to show me her looks, and it's really fun. So that definitely went to a better home. I'll try and put a picture on the screen if I can work some editing magic. But I'll show you which palette I'm talking about. So that is least used. Now, okay, most used, loved, and desert island palette. There are a couple for me. I have three. I'm going to start with everyone's favorite is the Urban Decay Naked palette. This was actually my very first high-end eyeshadow palette. I purchased it maybe a year ago. I've really racked up my collection since then. But this is just an awesome, neutral, everyday sort of palette. The quality is great. The pigmentation is great. They last. They don't crease. And just a really awesome palette. And it's definitely one you can create so many different looks with. And you can really make it sort of day and work appropriate as well as, you know, going out. And you can really smoke it out a bit with these darker shades. But I really like this palette. My next most used, loved Desert Island palette has got to be... Oh no, didn't I bring them all out? Oh no, I did. Leo was sitting on it. Sorry, bud. And now he's mad at me. The next one is my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, the original. This was my second high-end eyeshadow palette purchase. I still have the little thing with names because mine doesn't have names on it. But this is an awesome palette. This was actually one that I went and swatched it in an Ulta, and I was like, I don't need that palette. I don't need it. You know, the samples are kind of always a little gunky and gross. But I went for it, and I'm so glad I did. It really smells like chocolate still after so much time, and I really, really, really love this palette. I think Marzipan, this really pretty peachy shade, has got to be the one that I have almost put a hit pan on. I use that in almost every look. It is a beautiful, beautiful shade, but this has got to be one of my most loved palettes as well. And finally, I think my all-time favorite, most used palette has got to be the Tarte In Bloom. First of all, the packaging is adorable. It's got, I think, petals on it, just the like ombre from pink to dark purple, and then gold packaging on the back. But I adore this palette. I just can't. You just saw my nose in that mirror shot because it won't go all the way open. But I really, really love this palette. You've got sort of cool tones, neutral tones, and more warmer tones with the almost reddy browns over here. The one color that I don't love because of the sort of texture and pigmentation has got to be Funny Girl. I mean, you can definitely build it up. Let's see if I can swatch it. It's not going to show up on my skin. But Firecracker is phenomenal. It actually reminds me of one of the shades in the Vegas Nay Stardust palette. Showgirl. It's the one of the middle shades in here. But this has got to be just the perfect palette to make just those everyday looks. But you can also do a little bit of shimmer. It's not completely matte like its predecessor. I have that palette, but that actually should have probably made it in the least used category. It's just not one of my favorites. But okay, so I think I've covered all of them. Best packaging, best color payoff, versatile, best for traveling, biggest regret, best color names, least used, and most used, loved, and Desert Island palette. So that is the perfect palette tag for me. I'm actually going to tag a couple YouTube friends, Instagram friends. Bliss Chris is her Bliss Chris 1 is her Instagram name. Kristyn, I believe her name is. She's awesome, and her videos are great. They most of them are tutorials, and I really love watching them. So I tag her to do the perfect palette tag, as well as the person that I did a collaboration with for my March favorites, and her name is Becky. So I tag both of you to do the perfect palette tag, and anyone else that wants to do it but hasn't been tagged. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.